All right, I had to come to my car and continue, and for this coronavirus video. Why, you know, I think it's more fitting in the place where I am a lot, which is here in this seat here. And yeah, so let's continue. I don't know exactly where I left off, but I think I'm just talking to individual risk levels and how one person's paranoia is another person's pragmatism or prudency, and related to their own experience in life, their own trauma. That could be medical trauma, that could be anything. And it's also their own personal choice. And if you are not delusional and you've been as evaluated objectively as possible by mental health specialists or people you trust, then I think it's okay to do what is best for you to feel good, to feel comfortable, to feel safe. And I also believe that we should respect that of others, and especially when it comes to our society, when it comes to personal care of other people and protecting them, we don't do such a good job. And if others aren't going to look out for you, you got to look out for yourself. And it's plain and simple. So no matter whether you're the head of your household, whatever you are, whoever is out there, I think I'm not going to speak as somebody that knows way more than anybody else, but I just want to say that I think taking this seriously. I'll give an example. If you had a child in high school or let's say in their first year of college, I always tell my younger friends and stuff, it wouldn't have mattered if I had graduated business school at 24 versus 22 when I did. When you project the long game of life, unless you're trying to set a Guinness record of being the youngest this, the youngest that, there's no rule book, there's no race. And whether your kid got mono or whether they want to take a break and they're confused, taking somebody out of school for 6 months, maybe a month, is probably not going to alter their path completely, and it may alter it in a better way. So where does this relate to what I'm talking about is coronavirus. I have friends that have said to me, "Oh, this is so inconvenient." Yeah, guess what? It's for me too. It's for everybody. Nobody wants this. Look at the stock market crashing. The world thinks when they hear the big earthquakes coming to the Pacific Northwest or down here in California, oh, but that doesn't happen when I live. Like I said, watching the films, and I don't want to make comparisons to the Holocaust, I'm just bringing examples of when you see those videos when I was in high school of people in black and white and the masses of death, and you can't fathom that this is real or it happened in our lifetime. It's very real, and it's happening again in other areas of the world. And when we hear sometimes we're just numb to stuff. When some news that happens far away to people maybe that we're not making a human connection to, that a bomb in a square of, let's say, Iran, Iraq, somewhere like that, kills a bunch of people. I think we become numb. It's a human survival thing, because if we took on everything, I'm an empath, it's difficult, we'll be miserable and we won't get on with life. So there's that end of the spectrum, and then there's super laissez-faire, nothing's going to happen, aloofness, which is beautiful for some people. I admire it. I'm not there. I'm sure you can figure that out. I'm also not over at the other end of the spectrum. I like to think I'm somewhere in between. And have your judgments as you will. But I think when it comes down to circumstances like this, the ignorance is bliss is not the case. Knowledge is power. Knowing, protecting yourselves and others is going to potentially be an ounce of prevention rather than a pound of cure that you have to kind of circle the wagons. Once something happens, you can't fix it. Whether that's evacuating as a precaution from what always happens with hurricanes, they de-escalate and people go, gosh, we shouldn't have gone. But that time that it doesn't, would you rather have been the person that went? And that's a personal choice. And that's a personal choice for your family. So for me, it's just me. I have a mother and father who are living. I love them to death. My sister and her 3 kids and husband, aunts and uncles and cousins and whatnot. But I've learned, whether it's something else regarding health, they're going to do what they want to do. And I have to respect that. I can, out of love, want them to do something, but they're not calling upon me for help. And even when I offer it, they don't want to hear it most of the time. Doesn't mean they're bad people, just that's the way it is. So when I offer this out, take it for what it is. Throw it away. Whatever. That's everything I say. And I just feel that with this virus and what's going on, I've realized once again no more fucks to give. And I'm not even excusing my language. It is what it is. If this is going to be my legacy, that I put up some YouTube videos that a handful of people see, so be it. But I am done worrying. I'm just going to put it out there, and I'm preparing. And I'm going to the wilderness. And I have told people before, I put it on my Twitter, it's the only social media I usually use, that if somebody wants to join me, if people want to, but in a driving fashion, no going through airports or planes or whatever, because I hate to say it, but a friend was describing getting on a ship and going out to sea, and I was like, you got to make sure that each person getting on that ship had that 14 to 21 day, we don't even know, 27 day incubation period. You get one on that ship, sorry, it doesn't work. So and I have no false ideas or illusions about being where I go in the wilderness and surviving. I may die there. I may die from ill preparation. I may die there from complications of my kidneys or something else. From a virus that already exists out there that's not corona. I could get, most risky is driving there, for sure. But would I rather be intubated, staring at a ceiling? I've been in the hospital. I've never been intubated, thank goodness. But in that setting with the panic and having what I've felt when I've been near misses with me is not a light coming in and washing over me and blissful. No, I was drowning on air, and it was nightmarish. Did I not pray enough? Did I not? I don't mock that. Those who have had a beautiful experience with a near death, I think it's amazing, and I hope that's what we all get a chance for. But for me, I didn't have those experiences when I had the passing out as I'm dialing 911 from a toxic reaction from a Chinese herb that kills more people than any herb in China in the world. It's called aconite. You can look it up. Futsa. Can help you very much, but can also kill you. I had the one where it became toxic. I forget the name for it. It's like for your heart and system, and we just had to wait it out at the hospital. So I've had those experiences, not once, but several times. And for me, I'd rather be not alone in nature, because I've been there a lot alone. I'd rather be with my girl, hoping, I don't have that girl necessarily yet, but I'm just saying in theory, or my family or friends. But not everyone's, the reason, I'm going to skip around that, I'm going to say that the reason I've traveled a lot, the reason I'm alone a lot, not everybody wants to do the stuff that I want to do. And maybe I've chose the wrong people, but whatever it is, I have to do what makes me comfortable. And for me, I'm making a plan every day. And I haven't been able to knock out that punch list because I've been feeling like ass for the last week. And it's rough. Going to bed early, sleeping in my car, waking up, dragging my 90-year-old feeling ass over to the ocean, which is right in front of me, which is beautiful, forcing myself. It's hard to get in that water when you're in pain and your body hurts and you're just in a fog and you've done everything right. To do sleep hygiene, to eat right, drink fluids, take your medication. Doesn't matter. This illness doesn't care. It just says, Matheos, good luck, motherfucker. We're gonna bitch slap your ass into the ground today and make you feel bad. And I'm stubborn as hell, and I'm going to fight it. So I'm going to get my ass and whole body in that water. I'm going to take the cold shower and clean up, which I did today on the beach. And man, when I'm done, even if it's momentarily, I feel a lot better. Sometimes it kickstarts like it did today. It started to release me. By the time 9 o'clock rolled around, I do this. I grab my forearms, I grab my skin, and I go, oh, that's how much pain I was in. That's how, when I can think and talk, my brain was so painful. I don't know how to say painful. It's not a headache, but I can't think. I can't process. It's brain fog, what we call it. It's cognitive dysfunction based on TBI, Lyme, whatever it is. All I know is I have it. And it stops my momentum, and I hate it. And then I'm building a life here. Things are happening for me in Long Beach. Yeah, the coronavirus is inconvenient. Mother Nature doesn't care. So we have to lose that reality of going, there's no schedule. Earthquakes don't happen during the daytime because they plan to happen when people are mostly out and stuff versus at night when they're in their buildings. That just happens. It doesn't schedule it. And that's how worse the calamity is versus that. We can't predict that we'll have a clown in office when a pandemic happens and he fires Obama's pandemic response team and puts a guy in charge that has no experience in medicine or medical field. It's a perfectly bad storm. I hope for those that pray, you can pray, that I am wrong and that this people are smarter than I think and things are being contained. But from what I've heard from independent journalists on Twitter, not the bullshit, the independent journalists, and from friends working within this field, it's bad. And I'm not trying to scare you. Let's be light. You know, what I can tell you is today, when I felt good, when I was at the ocean, when I meditated at the park, and meditate more now. I mean, the stress from the news, from what you're going to have to do, it's stressful. I'm stressed. I don't want to have to go get all these things. I don't have the money. I'm broke. I'm just charging it. I don't know what to do. So I need ice to keep my medicine right now, and water each day. That costs me. My ice is costing me a grip each week. This power station that I need is going to be like $1,500 to $2,000 with the solar foldable thing, so I can run my medical device and keep stuff cool and charge an emergency phone. So, but I got to do it for me. And you might think that's nuts. Doing car maintenance, making sure my car's ready to go, getting rid of all my unnecessary nicer clothes or whatever, and just getting necessities and making sure my car's lighter, getting rid of all my art supplies, everything that I want to use. I'm doing it. And you might think that's irrational, it's crazy. I don't care. And I mean, I don't care what other people think. I got to do it myself. Yes, I'm getting Clorox wipes for when I'm going to be at places. I'm getting nitrile gloves so that I can not just keep using hand sanitizers. When you're washing your hands all the time, they're going to get sores. The doctors and nurses right now have all sorts of compression sores from wearing masks all the time and washing their hands so much. They're really suffering. And they're amazing. We have to thank these people. They're just people. They're not robots. And they're working the front lines and trying to save, whether you want to be dramatic, humanity. And I have this mask for mold purposes. I believe it qualifies. I have to make sure. But I'm going to be getting other masks, my N95s. And I do have a grip of the antiviral masks. But I will be getting goggles. And other than that, hand washing, these types of things are going to be your best way in staying out of crowded places and not thinking because this religious event happens on this day or this sporting event or this thing that seems so normal. How could a virus make us not want to do what's in our normal schedule, from taking Joey or Sue to their extracurriculars or whatever? We have to shift the mindset. And I know I'm sounding insane. I'm not. I mean, maybe I am. But to me, I feel level. I feel this is pragmatic for me in the sense of going, hey, Well, I don't go to yoga classes in the winter. I do my own practice most of the time anyway to save money, but sometimes I strategically do hot yoga to get the sweat out. And but I don't go in those crowded places because I can't be confident that somebody is not trying to crush their flu selfishly by going to hot yoga and spreading it to everybody else, because that's the society we live in. Yup, I hate to say it, folks, but we are selfish as fuck. So that said, what else was I going to speak to? Just, if you can, take care of those around you. If those can't prepare, if you have friends that are in their 80s, 70s, or just disabled, check on them. Check on them regardless of a pandemic. Just, it feels amazing to help other people. Now, at the same time, you have to choose who you can help, because if somebody else isn't going to be, not everyone can be a hero. And if you, in this circumstance, if you approach somebody without a mask, or you do this and they have corona, let's just say, you're not helping yourself and you're not helping them, because let's say you're a medical care worker, we need you. Because I was watching that show Pandemic, and they were showing one woman in the scenario of a pandemic. She was a nurse saying, I'm not going to have time to put on my mask and stuff. I'm just going to help the patient. And they said that the person running this scenario said, no, we can't have you do that. That's very gallant and like valiant, I should say. But the hero is the person that takes the precaution and helps. And I know we look at the Hollywood movie where the person, helps regardless and everything. That's great. And if you want to be that person, fantastic. But I think it's prudent to take care of yourself, take care of your family, and do what makes you feel comfortable. So one other thing I want to add to this is the reason I have some energy now, maybe too much, not caffeine, but I started back on my peptide therapy that I'd been off of, because I was supposed to take a week off. I took 5 days, and I just was like, nah, I'm getting back on, because I'm feeling terrible. And it's showing me that was helping. And today I added another one. I had to do 2 injections, right, one after another, because the entire stack of 4 peptides now don't fit in one syringe. So kind of a bummer, but I'm a pro at it now, and I'm ready. And it's another skill that I've picked up as far as injections. And I know these are long videos. I know the attention span of us humans now is 7 seconds. It's less than a goldfish from what I hear, but I don't know, I'm old school in all ways, so I talk too much. I think people are going to watch long form presentations. They're not. But I don't know how to change myself yet, and I will get better at it if I get time. I just hope this thing passes, and that we all have time, and that this isn't as severe as they say. But I'm going to finish with some statistics. When we look at the flu virus, the death rate is usually 0.1%. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I've looked up. And it still kills thousands and thousands each year. And when we hear the death rate of this, at its best, it's 2%. And that's overall. But it's changing a lot, and it's probably higher. 2% is big. That means, I think, about 300 people 6 are going to die. And if you know more people in elderly, it goes up to, in the 70-year-olds and 80-year-olds, up to 15%. And if you have kidney disease, if you have compromised immune, if you have heart problems, and you're above, they're saying the people who are dying are above 30. But there's obviously lesser in those zones. But I'm going to be 45, cross my fingers, on March 17th. And I want to make it there. And I want to do more. And the death rate for people in my community is high. It's not 2%. And that was told for me from doctors telling me, friends who are doctors, people who are studying this, saying, you're in that community. No matter if you have abs when you're on the beach or this, people forget you can't see someone's kidney disease. You can't see that they've had a heart transplant unless you're seeing their scar. You can't see, I'll just use my bones, osteoporosis. Do I look like I have osteoporosis? I mean, I'm being a bit of a dick here, but I'm just joking. I mean, like, it's not always what we see, okay? And I can't say it enough. Hypothyroidism, You know, I just got months of my thyroid to go bounce. You know, I've got to get more of my kidney meds and get out. You're going to see me in my glasses a bunch because I'm saving my contacts. All right, I'm not telling people where I'm going, but I can say it's a good spot. If you want to DM me, if you want to find me and you want to talk to me about it, we can talk individually, because I believe strength in numbers when it comes to this. And not in a Lord of Flies, not in all this. You're not following some wacky person. I want to work with people. I want people who have skill sets that I don't, that we can lean on each other and help each other and be in a place that if this thing is months, you know, we can come out of where we're at and get back to life, and it's gonna be there. So on that ominous note, I hope it's not ominous. I am optimistic. I am hopeful. I want more. And yeah, is what it is. I'm trying to be present with what's going on, and that's it. I know I beat a dead horse about sounding crazy, all that kind of stuff, but I know I've never been a prepper. I almost ended the video, but I've never watched those shows even. I watched like one of them because I was too sick to even think about it. I was like, you know, if something happens, I'm done. And I almost feel that way with this, but I'm feeling better. I have hope. I want to meet that woman. I want to have kids. I want my career back. I want to be helping people who have chronic illness. I want to do more. And so when people think I'm living out of fear, I'm not. I'm living out of hope and desire and passion to do more. It's very different. And those that see that will see that, and those that don't, you know, politely keep it to yourself. And good luck. And I have love for all, really. And I wish us all the best. All right. Peace. And